Hey everybody. Total stream of consciousness, all thought, everything like that. Not doing anything great. I've got another co-host here, Zach, who just made an appearance. This is all going to be about Halloween Ends and everything that is going through my head right now with this movie. And spoilers, because I cannot talk about this movie without talking about the movie. Right? I want to do spoiler free. I wanted to do this. That's what I was expecting at the end of it. No matter how this movie went and where this movie went, but I have to talk about this. The other co-host is here too. Yeah, as you can tell, she's mad. Are you mad? Mad? Mad that you can't sit in my lap? Uh, but yeah. Uh, oh my God. Where to fucking begin? Where to fucking begin with this movie? Um, this movie ruins the whole trilogy, in my opinion. This trilogy that they've set up. It ruins it not in the way that you would think. As a standalone story, I think it's fine. If you're putting it in the context of this is the last time that Laurie Strode is ever going to be in a Halloween movie, we can make other Halloween movies, we can do all this other shit. Maybe we go back to trying to do like the Halloween 3 type thing and getting it, or we just do stories where, the influence of Michael Myers, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You can do that. I think you can do that. But when it comes to this trilogy, this is not the way that I feel that everything should have went. And maybe I shouldn't put that on the writers and they're trying to do something a little different, but they're not really doing anything different. This is Friday the 13th part fucking 5. Okay? That is what this movie is. Oh, you think Jason's there? It's not really fucking Jason. It's the mayor or whoever the fuck else it is, right? And that's what the problem is with this movie. It's not acted terribly. Jamie Lee Curtis is still great as Laurie, trying to change her life, trying to be more of just live in the moment. She's writing a book about her experiences. Everything's great, And then, she does take the turn towards the end of you realize that she's still the same person that she was because she really hasn't been able to let it go. Right? Even it's like halfway through the movie that you kind of do, maybe even more than halfway, because I don't fucking know where it was. This only had to be like an hour and a half long. Maybe it's an hour and 40 minutes. I didn't check the runtime, but the movie started at 7:30. 7 o'clock start time, 7:30 actual movie starts, and I think that we were out of there at like 9-ish is when we were done with this movie. So an hour and 30 minutes, but it just feels like it's longer than what it needs to be. And the big problems I have with this movie is where they're going with the lore that they've been building, right? The whole thing between the two of them, Michael just wanted to go home. He's the boogeyman for everybody. Everybody's like forgotten that he's the boogeyman. Here he is, and he gains his strength more from the fear of people in the community and all this stuff. All these cool ideas that they're bringing in. The first Halloween I liked a lot. The second Halloween I didn't think was that bad. It had its moments and it had silly things that were going. Evil Dies Tonight. We talk about all this shit like that. But this just went off the walls. And it starts off the fucking walls in this movie. And I was okay with that. I mean, I'm laughing when I shouldn't be laughing at the whole thing. Poor kid dies and I'm laughing my ass off just because of what happens and how he hits the damn floor and bounces. I shouldn't be laughing at that shit, but it's just the way that it's done. And I get it with the character of Corey, okay? They needed another bad guy, so they kind of turned him into the boogeyman. They turned him into Michael Myers. I get it. And then he really does, turn into Michael Myers. And, there may be people that are upset that Michael only kills 2 people, maybe 2 people in this whole movie. And even one of them, you could be like, well, it's more of a team effort than anything else. But it's, there's the twist that's going on there, and I saw it from a mile fucking away. I knew it in the beginning of the fucking movie. Oh, this is what they're going to do. And there's so many things that you could change, I think, in the writing of this that would get you to this point. of everything going on. Like, Corey accidentally kills a kid in 2019 when he's babysitting, right? And, accidentally pushes the kid off the edge of the balcony indoors, the staircase, whatever the fuck you want to call it, because the kid's being a fucking dick. Okay? Kid locks him in a fucking closet, and he's like, oh, Michael's gonna get you, because he wants to watch his fucking horror movies, which it was cool that it was the Thing, right? Going back to the original Halloween, that they were watching The Thing from Another World on the TV, and here we're watching the remake of John Carpenter's The Thing, right, on the TV, and that's what they're watching. Cool. Love it. And there's a lot of really cool little Easter eggs in this movie that are really good, but after he's there and he's trying to get back into his life, and he's just working. He was going to go to college, but because of this he can't go to college anymore, and so he's working a deadbeat job as a mechanic, and his mom is really overbearing, and she's Tom Bradying him by kissing him on the lips and shit like that, and there's all these things, and still trying to treat him like a little kid rather than let him be his own. And then he meets where the fuck her name is, Allison, is that what her name is? The daughter, granddaughter of Lori, who in her phone doesn't have it as grandma, has it as Lori. So they're disconnected with each other, even though they're living together after her mom got killed and saved her life by Michael Myers killed her in Halloween, whatever the second one, Halloween Kills. So you have these things that are being set and kind of being set up. And again, the biggest travesty to the whole thing is everybody blames fucking Lori for Michael Myers. You invited him here. You enticed him. You did this. It's all your fucking fault. No, it's not. No, it's not, because she knew that he was going to come back. Okay? That was the whole thing with the Halloween reboot, or not reboot, continuation, the requel, if you will, to coin Scream. But it was the podcasters that wanted to see, what he would do, and they are the ones that let him out. And then he went on a fucking killing spree, which is, you're giving a bad name to fucking podcasters there. And then he wanted to go home. And who's in his home? Well, Lori's family's in his home. So we're going to go kill them so I can get back, and I can be back there, and all this shit. And then, but she didn't do anything. The only thing that they did was they brought him to Lori's place so they could kill him in the first one. But they didn't entice him. They didn't spring him from fucking jail. They didn't do any of that shit. Lori had nothing to do with that. She was just a crazy fucking lady that everybody was like, oh, we leave her alone because she's out there in the fucking wilderness not being a normal member of society and training her ass to kill Michael Myers. And that is like, that has nothing to do with anything else. It has nothing to do, why? Why blame her? Why do that? It makes no fucking sense to me. And it just ruins the lore that they're building within these movies. You can do the whole thing of, in the big spoiler here, of Corey becoming Michael Myers, right? Or realizing the evil side within him, if we want to be like literal about the whole thing. You can do that. You can totally do that. And I think in terms of writing the way it is, that you could have done it with Michael still being a central part of the, being the main antagonist of the film, coming back. All of a sudden, people have forgotten him. Oh, I need to do something to get back into there. Like, and we know by the end of everything, he's not obsessed with Lori. Like, he is, but he isn't at the same time, right? So he just goes on another fucking killing spree. Okay, I've been gone for so many years. People are forgetting about me. I'm hiding in the fucking sewers because they destroyed my house where I was sitting in at the end of the last fucking movie. It's just like, oh, well, they destroyed the house. Now there's a giant empty house over there. Like, you could do that, but he could just come back again, and he could slowly start killing people. And then you have the side story with Corey and him doing the accidental death of the little kid, and then slowly getting blamed for all the other murders in the area because they don't have anybody else to blame but him, because he knew it, and he would always somehow be related to everything. And then you could even do like a big switch on the whole thing that, yeah, he's really Michael Myers. He's been doing this, and he really is fucked up in the head. Like, you could do that, and Michael really is gone, right? He really has gone away, and Corey knew about it. Like, you wanted to blame me and you wanted me to be Michael, then I'm gonna be the Shape. I'm gonna do that shit, right? It could have all led up to that, but no, we have this like love story between the granddaughter and between Corey, and like she falls for him like right a fucking way. Like it's like they've been fucking dating for weeks or months or years, and she just Laurie brings him into her life, and because he gets treated badly by some high school fucking kids that punk him over there at the gas station, and she's just like, she feels bad for him. She thinks that he's cute, good for her granddaughter. Turns out he's not, but like their whole relationship is like, and he even like slowly turns into the bad boy type, getting his leather jacket, getting his motorcycle, doing all that shit, and it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's like things just keep going further than they need to go. You could shorten that stuff, and like I said, you could still mix in the killings that Michael is doing during the whole time. And even if you wanted to, like I said, you could make it the twist that it really was just Corey doing everything. I would still be okay with that. But the problem is that you advertise this movie as this is the final battle between Laurie and the Shape. And how long is that battle? 5 fucking minutes. 5 minutes. That's it. He just comes in right when it's opportunistic time to fucking come into the movie, and then they fight for a little bit. Laurie demasks him, and then they ultimately fully kill him right at the end of the movie. That's where it drives me fucking bonkers. There is nothing in this other than Laurie is suspecting Corey of getting the same evil that Michael has in him, that the Shape has. And, she's there. There's a great scene. I love this scene. Okay. There's a lot of like good little small moments, but the scene between Corey and Laurie in the home of the boy that died is a great fucking scene. And it's the good turn on Corey and the way that he's progressed and doing this stuff with Michael. And it's great piece of acting from both of them. I love it. The other one is when they're upstairs and he's come into the house and Laurie has called the cops to, say that she's going to commit suicide. And then, when you think that she does and she opens the door and she's like completely fucking switched on him. Great. Jamie Lee Curtis is great in this movie. And it is a goddamn shame that she is so fucking great in this movie, because Laurie in this movie it is a travesty what they've done with her for this movie. And if this is the last time we're ever going to see her, I know Jamie Lee Curtis, she's old. She wants to be remembered for this role, but I don't want to remember her for this. I don't want to remember this Laurie Strode. I was cool with the first Laurie Strode that we got out of this trilogy. I didn't like that she wasn't in it very much in Halloween Kills. Okay, I know a lot of people were very upset by that as well. But I still like that Laurie. I liked what that Laurie did. She's not in it much, but she's still doing a pretty damn good job. Here, she's in it a ton, but it's not her story. It's Corey's story. That's what this movie is. It's Corey's story. But it's not advertised as Corey's story. It's advertised at the end of Laurie's story. Why? Why is it done that way? It boggles my mind. It's to get butts in the fucking seats. And that's where the disappointment is. If I'm on that bandwagon of I want to see Laurie get her comeuppance. I want to see her finally take down the Shape. I want to see her finally just, go balls out and just be the badass that we all know that she is. And this is what I get. Then I am utterly disappointed in this movie. Utterly disappointed in this movie. And like the kills, a lot of them are off screen again, or they're done in a cinematic mode way. Like there's one really cool idea kill where he takes a blowtorch and he puts it in the kid's mouth and you can see him being set on fire, but it's cinematic mode. So you don't see the person in front, but you see the kid behind him. She's watching it happen. And so you see it all blurry and stuff. But why not show it? Why not do it? Smile is a great example of an R-rated horror film that was not afraid to do some gruesome fucking kills on people. Is it because it's a teenage kid? Never gave a fuck about that before in horror. Now all of a sudden for these big screen horror movies, we care about it. You can show the fucking little kid fall from the fucking top of the banister and bounce on the fucking floor really violently, but you can't show this kid get his fucking face blown open with a blowtorch. I just, and then out of the four kids, because the four kids, they're dicks in the beginning of it. They're all involved in making fun of him. But when they're on the bridge and like they're all surrounding him because he's, he goes to the bar and he tries to have a normal life and a normal night. And then he runs into the mom of the kid that died. And she's like, oh, you're out here having fun. And yes, there is the back and forth between Laurie getting these experiences and him getting these experiences from different types of people that were affected by the shape, right, for Laurie, and how they've reacted to it. And then meanwhile, on the flip side of things, people, the people that were directly affected by Corey, which is only one fucking couple, and the father of the two is like, look, we need to forgive him because maybe it was really just an accident. Maybe my kid really was a fucking dick. And that's the way that everything would have gone with that. I just, like, again, I understand what they're doing. There's the one thing, well, who's the psycho and who's the freak show? Because that's what the kids call them. And they show, like, you get both sides. You're going back and forth with it and how Laurie's dealing with it and how he's dealing with it. And she's able to just accept it and, know that that's what she's going to get. But she's not at fucking fault for the whole thing. She's not at all. Any of these movies, you have to look back at the very first Halloween. She did not entice the shape to go and kill her. The Halloween reboot, she did not entice the shape until they decided we need to kill him. So we're going to bring him to the house and we're going to set the house on fire and we're going to fucking kill him because that's what she was preparing for. And then the second one, she didn't do anything. She did absolutely nothing. He went on a fucking killing spree because he wanted to get back home and be the boogeyman again. Sorry, stuff is coming up. So getting back real fast. I know I went off track for a second, but going back to the four kids, they make fun of them and stuff like that. And then when they're on the bridge, they're getting ready to the two boys are getting ready to be the bad kids, and the one girl that's with them, she's kind of going with it, and then the fat girl that's in the fucking truck. And I'm sorry, what hefty girl, I don't know what you want to call her, but I don't remember, I don't even know what her fucking name is. Maybe in the credits she was fat girl number one, I don't know, or fat teen. But she tells him, look, guys, you need to stop. Like, we need to stop this. Which is good for him, but he can't tell who's being good or bad. So when she's the one, of course, she's the one that's got to get hit by the car and trapped underneath the thing by the fence, with the tow truck. And then when he goes and he kills everybody else, he should have just let her live. Like, in my mind, like, I think that's what a Michael Myers would have done, right? That's what I think the shape would have done, is that, yeah, he kills a bunch, but he does leave some people alone, especially if they're not trying to do anything to him. Yeah, he's an unstoppable killing machine, but he still has a heart, is what I'm trying to say. But I think that, and he's not, and even if he doesn't, okay, and he goes through and he just kills as many people as he possibly can, he's not Michael Myers yet, and he would still, like, realize, because he's trying to figure out, even from Michael, like, he's watching him when he kills, Dwayne, the cop guy, and I can remember his name, but I can't remember that if it's Allison or not. But, like, he watches him, and, like, that's cool. I'm totally cool with that. Like, he's learning how, the shape does things and how he can do it too. And he's getting that energy, he's feeling it. That stuff's fine. It again is just that, it's not Laurie's story. That's ultimately the reason that I'm upset about everything, is that it should have been her story and it's not. And that grinds my gears when it comes to this movie and for the two things that are set up in the movie, right? From the previous two movies in this trilogy. When you do, Friday the 13th Part 5, it gets shit on a lot, okay? It's not terrible, but what's terrible about it is what is terrible in this, right? And I think if you really like that movie, you won't care about what's going on. And I'm sure that there are going to be a lot of people that like this, and my opinion is not going to be the same as theirs. I'm totally cool with that. I'm just giving you my thoughts, my reactions to this movie, and my review personally, because that's all reviews are. Reviews, doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you're the biggest critic in the world, you were Roger Ebert in your past life, whomever you are. It's still opinions. And if you don't like these style of movies, then you're going to give it possibly bad ratings. Maybe you'll look for things. And I always try to see what's fucking redeeming about these movies. And this one, it's so few and far between that's redeeming. Man, that's why it gets 2 shotgun blasted pumpkins to the face out of 5. It is, and it's not really a shotgun; it's more of a revolver. But it just misses the mark. It really does, and I just wanted something that was relatively satisfying, even if it was a good 3 out of 10 or 3 out of 5. And I'm really struggling to give it a 2, to be honest. Maybe it should be more like 1.5 pumpkins, with guns to the face. And Raina's back there giving her distrust of everything, because that's what type of cat she is when I'm doing these recordings. But it's just, if we stuck to what the world building that they had done, I don't know. I know Danny McBride was involved in this one as an executive producer and as a writer too, but how much did he write of this? Did he just do a first draft and pass it on? Was he just doing the last bits and pieces of things? I don't know, because with the first Halloween, I thought it was good. I had fun with it. I thought it was great that it was brutal. Michael Myers is brutal again, right? And in the second one, oh yeah, the brutality is still there, and that's what I enjoyed of it. But there were dumb things, but I got to look past some of the dumb things, and I could still find it enjoyable. This, I just was like, at times in the theater, I just had my arms out like, why are we doing this? What's the point of this? Why do we need to go through this stuff? Why do we need to spend the first 30 to 40 minutes relationship building between Corey and Allison, or whatever the fuck her name is? Like, why? Why do we need to do this? And it's not even like tons of time passes. And we all kind of had this feeling that we knew we were in trouble when the movie started. Like, I'm not talking about the opening scene with the kid dying. The music that started the movie. I knew that there was going to be trouble. Why are we doing this Monster Mash type of bullshit? Like, the last two didn't start anything near this. And I thought, oh my God, we're going to go into Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, like, type of thing. I'm not ready for that. And you know what? I saw a tweet today about this, and I would never, ever, ever apologize to Rob Zombie about Halloween 2. But maybe it's time to realize that maybe it wasn't as bad as we thought. It still can be bad, but I honestly think that this is worse. That is maybe too long of the tooth, and this one being shorter, it's better. But at the same time, they did something original, right? With Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie, he remade Halloween, and it basically was Halloween with some extra shit. I was okay with the extra shit, and it was entertaining. With Halloween 2, he went on his own little path of doing everything and didn't follow Halloween 2. And with the first one of this series, they tried to retcon everything from, get rid of Halloween 2 in general. And it was fine. And they built their own lore, and then they shit on it in the third one. And that's what upsets me the most. So, what did you guys think? Did you see it? If you did, leave me a comment below. Or, hit me up on Twitter or wherever your thing is. So, make sure that you're following all that. And we're also doing all the 31 and 31 things are still going on. And there's a new podcast that's going to be out very, very soon, if it's not already when you're watching this. But I'd really like to know people's opinions, right? If you liked it, why did you really like it? Am I wrong in the way that I'm saying things? Like, and maybe wrong is that but am I far off on my opinion of where I felt that this movie fell short? Like I said, the performances weren't bad. And the guy that played Corey, did not like him in the beginning, but as he became more like Michael Myers or the killer, I started liking him a lot more, and I thought he was doing a great job. There were just his arc was just not where I wanted it to be. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time on one of these, I guess, movie reviews. And make sure you take care of yourselves and each other, and ignore the meowing cat in the background. Thanks, guys.